الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونسترضيه ونستكفيه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهده الله فهو المهتدي ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير وأشهد أن سيدنا وحبيبنا ومولانا ورسولنا وقدوتنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ونشهد أنه قد بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح للأمة وكشف الله به عنا الغمة وتركنا على المحجة البيضاء ليلها كنهارها لا يزيغ عنها إلا من كان من الهالكين. فاللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد وبارك اللهم على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. فاتقوا الله عباد الله حق التقوى واستمسكوا من دينكم بالعروة الوثقى واعلموا أن الموت قد تخطاكم لغيركم وغدا يتخطى غيركم إليكم فخذوا حذركم. فالكيس من دان نفسه وعمل لما بعد الموت والغافل من أتبع نفسه هواها وتمنى على الله الأماني. وبعد فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله عز وجل وإن خير الهدي هدي محمد بن عبد الله وإن شر الأمور محدثاتها وإن كل محدثة بدعة وإن كل بدعة ضلالة وإن كل ضلالة في النار. وما قل وكفى خير مما كثر وألهى وما أنتم بمعجزين ثم أما بعد. Dear brothers and sisters, this is the speech number 10 in our series of khutbah, which is revolved around one major topic that we chose, which is funun ad-da'wah, the art of the da'wah, how to make da'wah ila Allah Azza wa Jal ala basira. And today, inshallah, we're going to talk about one major factor. This factor is actually number one tool for you. We decided last month that in order for a physician to do an operation, he has to have equipment. So now you're gonna do some sort of open heart surgery and you're giving me nothing, I won't be able to operate. The mechanic will need his toolbox in order to fix the car. The most important thing you have to have in your toolbox is our topic today. Sallu ala Rasulullah. This major tool that we need to have first thing in our toolbox is ikhlas, sincerity. Allah Azza wa Jalla يقول في سورة البينة سورة number 98 verse number 5 وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين حنفاء ويقيموا الصلاة ويؤتوا الزكاة وذلك دين القيمة. And they were not commanded except for worshiping Allah alone. Being sincere. مخلصين له الدين. Being sincere, and this is the secret. And establish prayers and pay their alms. And this is the correct religion. That means if we have everything except for ikhlas, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. The definition of ikhlas is kind of vary between scholars. Izzuddin ibn Abd Salam said, when there is an agreement between your limbs, actions, and your heart's intentions. And you know, the scholars' words are very concise, short, and you can write a book about this definition. So there is two movements. Your heart movements and your limbs movements. There must be a synchronization between whatever you're doing with your limbs and that synchronize whatever you have in your heart. One of the Salaf al-Salih was asked, what is the most difficult thing in Islam? The most difficult thing? He said, my niyyah, intention. I am trying to handle my niyyah a lot. Why? Because he needs that to be so pure for Allah Azza wa Jal only. For Allah Azza wa Jal only. Allah Azza wa Jal يقول إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا. We feed you for the sake of Allah. We feed the poor for the sake of Allah. We don't need we are not even waiting for a thank you note. We don't want people to say, hey, look at that. The Islamic Center of Athens is feeding the poor. Or the Islamic Center Al-Huda in Athens is doing blah, blah, blah. This is not what we need to do. We do it for Allah because Allah Azza wa Jal would like to do that for Muslims and non-Muslims equally. And when Rasulullah joined us about our neighbors, he didn't determine which neighbor and which, even if he's atheist, we're going to do the same. I'm going to give my blood for him without question asked. And when Jesus said, peace of God be upon him, love thy neighbor. It's the same concept because we have this agreement. Al-Ikhlas, sir, وله أسرار. It's secret in itself and it has a lot of secrets. Al-Ikhlas, may Allah Azza wa Jal give me and give you all Ikhlas. Say Ameen. It's a work of a heart. It's a work of your heart. That's why some of the ulama said, the secrets of Ikhlas, listen to me because Ramadan is around the corner. And we need to purify our hearts. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us reach Ramadan. غير فاقدين ولا مفقودين. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. And make it the best Ramadan ever to us and to the whole world. Ameen ya Rabb. So he said there are 3 secrets of Ikhlas. Let's count together. Number 1, no shaitan, no devils, no Satan is going to know it and ruin it for you. So no devils, no shaitan will screw up whatever you're doing if there is a pure sincerity and ikhlas in whatever you're doing. ربنا سبحانه وتعالى يقول إلا عبادك منهم المخلصين. Shaitan, on the tongue of the shaitan, said لَقَعُدَنَّ لَهُمْ صِرَاطَكَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ ثُمَّ لَأُضَلَّنَّهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. It's 2 times was mentioned in Surah Sad, towards the very end of the surah, verse 83. إلا عبادك منهم المخلصين قال الحق والحق أقول لأملأن جهنم منهم وممن اتبعك منهم أجمعين. منهم ومن اتبعك منهم أجمعين. So, and it's also in Surah Al-Hijr, Surah 15, verse 40. إلا عبادك منهم المخلصين. So, if you keep doing things with ikhlas, listen carefully, brothers, because this is the highest level of iman, the highest level. Allahumma arzuqna al-ikhlas. If you do things and you being, doing it all the time, you're going to be a mukhlis. And number 2, you're going to be a mukhlas. So mukhlis ism fa'il, mukhlas ism maf'ul. But you won't be able to reach mukhlas, whom Allah Azza wa Jal described him with mukhlas. Sayyidina Yusuf, one of the prophets. إنه كان من عبادنا المخلصين. Allah Azza wa Jal saved him من امرأة العزيز لأنه كان يرعى الله. He was looking into his heart, and the woman was beautiful. She has everything that a man would ever think about a woman. She is the first lady of Egypt. And she's a healthy, wealthy, beautiful woman. And she closed all the doors of the palace. And قالت هيت لك. Here I am for you. What are you going to do? إنه كان من عبادنا المخلصين. You sleep at night and make sure that everything you do and you did and you will do is for Allah Azza wa Jalla. Everything. قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لمن؟ لله رب العالمين. We're not waiting for status, a social status. It's not a paper, PhD, that I'm going to hang on my office. This is meaningless. And you say, okay, should we stop doing stuff? Because actually, Allah Azza wa Jal is making the mukhlasin a gift from Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah Azza wa Jal is telling us about Zinnun, Sayyidina Yunus. And he's saying at the very end of Surah Al-Qalam, Surah 68, verse 49. He's saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and if Allah did not give the bounty, لولا أن تداركه, Allahu Akbar. لولا أن تداركه من? Are you talking about me or you? You're talking about the Prophet. It was not because of favor of the Nun. It's because of what? Allah Azza wa Jal, فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِنَ اللَّهِ. What happened? With the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal, what happened to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? لِنْتَ لَهُمْ بِرَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ Azza wa Jal. So whatever you're going to do, you do it for Allah Azza wa Jal, and you know in the bottom of your heart that whatever you're going to do is not going to benefit Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not going to benefit Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah Azza wa Jal is not waiting for you to come on time to Friday prayers or to fast Ramadan. How is that going to impact Allah Azza wa Jal? Or to give the poor the money. Allah does not want that. And your sins, by the way, will not harm Allah Azza wa Jal. This is what you have in your heart. You're doing, number one, you're doing everything for Allah and Allah's only. Number two,
you know that all your good deeds is a fadl min Allah Azza wa Jal. It's a favor Allah Azza wa Jal put for you, not because you're a special one, because of the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal. Number 3 is all your bad deeds will not harm Allah Azza wa Jal. Ikhlas, one of the most difficult jobs you can do in your life. One woman from Bani Israel, on the authentic hadith, Baghi min Baghaya Bani Israel, a prostitute that was walking and she found a dog. And she had some water for the dog. فَغَفَرَ اللَّهُ لَهُ. Allah forgave her. The man who was walking and there was a branch hanging off of the tree, and he thought that's going to be a problem for the pedestrian and passerby, and he tried to clean it up for all the people to move. فَغَفَرَ اللَّهُ لَهُ. Do you like to tell me that every woman that does that, when she gives water to a dog, she's going to be, Allah will forgive him? No. Everybody will remove a branch of a tree away from the road so people can walk. Is going to be forgiven? No. Why? Because Allah Azza wa Jal is the only one knows how much ikhlas you have. I've been trying to pray Fajr on time. Are you mukhlis enough? Good question. Are you serious? I'm trying to purify my heart before Ramadan, so when the Ramadan comes, when the rains comes, we'll find a good soil and the plants will be blooming and my life will be changing because this is a season of ta'at. Do we do that with ikhlas? If we do it with ikhlas, Allah knows it. يَعْلَمُ خَائِنَةَ الْأَعْيُنِ وَمَا تُخْفِي الصُّدُورُ. Whatever you're hiding, who's you gonna hide from? Allah Azza wa Jal is telling us in Surah An-Nahl, Surah number 16, verse number 66. من بين فرث ودم لبنا خالصا سائغا للشاربين. Subhanallah. I'd like you to listen to this again, please. Allah Azza wa Jal saying He gets from the bellies of the bees, from the animals and the an'am, between the farth means excursion. Excursion means filth and jurisprudence sense and dam. So the milk is coming, and there is a scientific, a big scientific thing about this area. If you like, it's not the topic, but Maurice Bucaille wrote a whole research about this verse 66, Surah number 16, Surah An-Nahl, the bees. So the milk is coming between two problematic entities. Number one is the farth, which is filthy, and the blood, which is najis. And what is the description of this milk? Number one, khalisan. What is khalisan? Pure. Number two, sa'igan, palatable. What is palatable? Means easy and sweet. And subhanallah, this milk that people live on is coming between these two things. The filth and the najas, dam. Allah Azza wa Jal give the description of khalisan, and this is shahid. This is what I want, the bottom line. I need to help to get to my point. And what is the most important thing you have to do for the milk is to guard it. You cover it.
You pasteurize it. You do everything you can in order to keep this milk drinkable. It's not about how much. It's not about quantities. It's about qualities. It's mawqif. It's one thing you did with ikhlas 100% and you're saved. Do I need to tell you some stories about that? You all know the three people of the cave. Remember? I'm not going to say the whole story. I've been saying it forever. The three people that they've been trapped in a rainy night on a cave, and they didn't know after this rock close up the door. They wait for death. And what was the suggestion? Everybody would have a corner, a side, and start praying for something. One thing, one situation where he has had sincerity in it 100%. So everybody start to take a corner, and everybody start to say, I am a man that been working so hard on my parents used to wait for me to give them a drink of milk, and one day I was late, and when I came they were asleep. I felt so bad with myself. I stood up all the night long, holding the milk in my hands, waiting for my parents to wake up. In another narration, my kids were around my feet, trying to ask me for milk. But this is my parents' milk. So I waited until the first beam of light came to the world. And when they wake up, they take the milk and they drank it and they prayed for me. God, listen, here is the lesson. If I did that for you, here is underlined 1 zillion red line. It's not a lot of work, believe me. We pray and we don't know how much of our prayers are going to be accepted. Half, 50%. Rasulullah ﷺ said that. 20%, even 10% of our prayers. We think about all the worldly things when we pray. We fast and we backbite and we do all that stuff. It's not about how much, brothers and sisters. And the other guy who had the woman that was his cousin needed some money. And he was in love with her. According to the text, he said, I never ever had love for a woman like I did love this woman. And one day she came to him. She was his cousin. And she was beautiful. And it was really, yeah, man, this is the moment I will ask her for herself. فلما كنت بين فخذيها, when I was just about to do it, committing adultery, he said, يا عبد الله اتق الله ولا تفض الخاتم إلا بحقه. Be fearful of Allah Azza wa Jal, and don't do that because you're not my husband. You don't do that. I give her the money she wanted and she left. One situation that can save you. Provided that it has 100% ikhlas. Not so much, brothers and sisters. The third person who was having a laborer, someone who's working for you and left without taking his money. And then after some years he came back and he said, Ya Abdullah, do you remember the day that I worked for you? And I didn't take my money. And he said, come, my brother, look out there in the valley. And he found all the sheep. He said, all of this is for you. He said, Ya Abdullah, la tahzan bi, don't mock me. Why you do that to your brother? He said, no, I'm not mocking. That's yours. I took your money and invested in it. And this is how it came about. And the man said, Wallahi, he took all the sheep and he didn't leave one. And here is the lesson, not the story. If I did that only for you, then فرج عنا ما نحن فيه, let us out. And it was every time the rock is moving until the third person finished, and it was open enough for people to walk out. Ikhlas is something that is not easy. You ask yourself 1 million questions, why I'm doing that?
Allah Azza wa Jal, رب صائم ليس له من صومه إلا الجوع والعطش. Maybe it is someone who gonna have nothing from his fasting all the 30 days that coming around the corner, except for being hungry and being thirsty. ورب قائم, and somebody's praying all the night long. Wow! ليس له من قيامه إلا التعب والسهر. He has nothing out of that except for he's making himself miserable, making himself tired, because there is one factor that is not there. إخلاص. One situation. على الثلاثة الذين خلفوا. One situation that can save you. Nobody will save you. You advocate for yourself. Because this is a deen of amal. It's a working deen. ليس الإيمان بالتمني ولكن ما وقر في القلب وصدقه العمل. It's not about what you wish or what I'm saying. This lip service is not going to work. Something that is inside, deeply rooted in my heart and translated and manifested on my lifestyle with everybody on earth. 3 people will come on the day of judgment. A martyr, a shaheed, a philanthropist, a mutasaddiq, and a qari. 3 people. And Allah Azza wa Jal will put everything in front of them, telling them, okay, here we go. What did you do? He said, and I struggled in your path, Allah, and I've been killed defending the deen of Allah and the deen of Muhammad. He's كذبت or كذبت آسف كذبت. You're a liar. لقد فعلت لكي يقال كذا وكذا. لكي يقال, this is جريء according to the text. You've been doing that at the war because people will tell, hey, look at this guy, mashallah, he is a brave warrior. And you know what? وقد قيل. You got it. الجزاء من جنس العمل. وقد قيل. يلقى في النار. And you sent to hellfire. The person who's paying tons of money, every year, tons of money, according to this authentic hadith. Allah will ask him, what did you do with the money that I gave you? He said, I've been giving it to the poor. I've been trying to help everybody. I build a school. I make a shelter. I give people blankets in winter. I did that. I did this. I sent all to the Syrian brothers and sisters, to Myanmar people. I did all of that. And he said, كذبت. You're a big liar. إنما فعلت ليقال, look at this person, mashallah, la quwwata illa billah. He's paying a lot of money. Nobody is asking him for anything except what he is going to give it him instantaneously. يقال عنك جواد ألا وقد قيل ثم يلقى في النار سيعود من الشمس. And the one who is memorizing the whole Quran, اللهم اجعل القرآن حجة لنا لا علينا. مصيبة سوداء اللهم سلم يا رب سلم يا رب. It's a calamity. You're memorizing the whole Quran all your life. And you're studying the tafsir and ulum al-Quran and qira'at al-ashr and blah 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 and all of that. And you go to the day of judgment, Allah said, what did you do with the blessing of memorization of the Quran and the interpretation of the Holy Quran? He said, علمته للناس يا ربي, I taught people. He said, كذبت. You're a liar. إنما فعلت ليقال عنك قارئ. You did that. So people will tell, wow, look at him, mashallah, he's so skillful with the Quran. He does not make mistakes. He blah 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 blah. ألا وقد قالوا ثم يقذف في النار. With his full Quran. It's a din amal. It's a working deed. This life is not for